Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. We are going to continue our micro lectures on the time value of money, and we are going to devote the next few lectures to compounding. In today's lecture, we are going to focus on compounding a single sum, a single amount, and we're going to focus on the calculations when compounding is yearly. So we just have one compounding period at the end of every year. So how do we define compounding? Well, we think about taking a amount of money today and trying to determine what that money is worth in the future when the returns are reinvested. So we sometimes call that interest on interest or gain on gain. So let's jump into an example. Say we have a $10,000 investment. We're going to invest that at 8%. So that's our yearly interest rate. And we want to know the account value at the end of 15 years. So if we put that in, I just put that into a spreadsheet to start. And we see the $10,000 being invested at the beginning of the first year. That's going to earn 8%. So that's going to earn $800. And then we have the ending balance in that first year of $10,800. We are investing that $10,800 into the second year. That's going to earn 8% on the full $10,800. And then we're going to have the account balance at the end of the second year. So we can think about this full 15-year period as 15 one-year periods. So we're just taking the ending value from the previous period and reinvesting it in the next period, the next year. And when we do that for all 15 periods, we see the value at the end at 31,722 rounded up. And if we plotted that out, we talk about compounding as being exponential. Sometimes it helps to look at a graph. We look at that as sloping upwards. And we'll see in another lecture how that looks relative to if that money is just linear or just simple interest. But this is what we mean by exponential growth. It sort of grows over time in a way that's kind of upward sloping, but we see the growth of interest on interest, and it's important to see what that graph looks like. So we have a formula for compounding a single sum. It's a relatively simple formula. So we want to find the future value of an amount. We take the present value and multiply that by 1 plus the interest rate or the rate of return to the nth power. So let's go over those variables. The FV just stands for future value. PV is present value. And then we have the interest rate that's denoted by R, and that is just an annual rate in this calculation. Then we have an uppercase N for the number of years. And that right side of the equation, this far right side of the equation here, this part of the equation here, that is called the compounding factor. So the 1 plus R to the N is the compounding factor. And we're going to do that when we jump into the math here. We're going to do that. We're going to do that first. So we find our compounding factor. That's just 1 plus 0.8 to the 15th power. We multiply that by the $10,000 investment. So that ends up being 10,000 times 3.1722. And that gives us the 31,722. That's the same amount that we found in the previous slide. Okay, so sometimes we'll hear financial commentators or financial advisors talk about the penny trick. The penny trick is the amount, if you took a penny and you doubled it, and then you doubled it again, and you did that every day for 30 days, it shows the amount that you would have at the end of that 30-day. I used to, we had a business that we owned, and we had a customer that would come in and he'd say, I'll work for a penny a day if you double my salary every day. And the trick is that it grows to a really large amount in a very short period of time, and it highlights the power of compounding. So here's how we do it: we take that equation that we had earlier, the future value equals present value times 1 plus r to the n, and the rate of return on that, the r, is 100. So it's 1, right, in decimal form. So it's a 100% rate of return. That's what, when we're doubling our money, we're getting a 100% return. So when we do 1 plus 1, right, we do 1 plus the rate, that ends up equaling 2. So our compounding factor is 2 to the 30th. And when we multiply that by that penny that we're investing today, over that 30-day period, it ends up almost $11 million, $10,337,418. That's rounded a little bit, but we can see how that money grows, and that's the penny trick. If you ever hear anyone talk about it, that's what they are referring to, and now you guys know the math involved. If you guys are liking these videos, if you're learning something, and I hope you are, and you want us to continue to put out content on the fundamentals of business and finance and economics, you can do us a huge favor and subscribe to our channel, and we will continue to make these videos, and hopefully we can build out our learning community. Thank you so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time.